Good afternoon. Really proud to be here today as the ANZ Fiji country head. I represent 700 very passionate people who work across ANZ's business in Fiji. All of us are truly committed to helping people and communities thrive. It's our purpose, it's what gets us out of bed every morning. After a tough few years, it's important, more so now than ever, that we come together with our key stakeholders and we share the work that ANZ is doing to promote financial wellbeing in Fiji. Improving the financial wellbeing of individuals and communities helps people make the most of their money over the long term. And in 2020, ANZ Fiji delivered our flagship adult financial literacy program, which is called MoneyMinded, to almost 5,000 Fijians. Last year across the Pacific, we delivered the program to almost 10,000 people, which is a tremendous result in the context of a pandemic, where the teams had to adapt and find new ways to deliver the program through the means of Zoom calls and the like. This report that we're launching today focuses on the impact that MoneyMinded had on 254 seasonal workers from Fiji who completed the program before moving to New Zealand for work. Since its inception some 15 years ago, the recognised seasonal employer scheme has played a crucial role in filling gaps in New Zealand's workforce while delivering economic benefits and skills to the Pacific. The RSE workers completed MoneyMinded in face-to-face sessions as part of their pre-departure training, and the program covered topics such as budgeting, saving, internet banking, ANZ apps, international money transfers, and smart ATMs, being the ATMs where you can make deposits into your account. The independent research conducted by Melbourne's RMIT University found overwhelming evidence that MoneyMinded helped the seasonal workers to make the most of their income from their seasonal work trips and invest back into their households and communities. Many were able to diversify income streams, invest in their homes or small businesses, prepare for unexpected expenses, and better afford education for their children. Overall, we've seen Fijian seasonal workers who completed MoneyMinded start planning and saving money and setting goals for a sustainable financial future. I want to thank the seasonal workers who took part in this research. Your feedback will help us to continue to adapt the MoneyMinded program to suit our future participants' needs. I would also like to acknowledge our MoneyMinded accredited staff who are surrounding you today in these lovely blue shirts that they've launched just for today's event. The work that they do to deliver the program tirelessly contributes to the positive changes in the lives of these seasonal workers. We will continue to support seasonal workers and others in the community through MoneyMinded so they can improve their livelihoods and manage their finances for the future. So whilst today's report being released focused on the seasonal workers, I think it's important to note that the team also delivers this training into other parts of the community, such as seasonal workers going to Australia, professional rugby players, one of our biggest exports here in Fiji, before they head over to Europe and the like. They do the Life After Rugby version of the MoneyMinded training. We also deliver it into large employers through the work-based program, so it's not just restricted to seasonal workers, although the report being released today did focus on the impact with seasonal workers. So we know in some cases the RSE workers can earn more than 10 times than they would back here in Fiji. It's estimated that money sent back to the Pacific from overseas can make up around 25% of a household's income. In September 2020, ANZ waived the fees for electronic transfers from New Zealand and Australia into the Pacific to help boost Pacific economies during the pandemic. I'm proud to say that a year later, we announced that the waiver would be kept in place indefinitely to maintain the flow of funds into the region as it recovers from COVID-19. Many seasonal workers who went through ANZ's MoneyMinded program had never even had a bank account. MoneyMinded helped them establish clear goals for the money that they would earn while they're working, because we know that with careful budgeting, planning, and through the practical life skills that MoneyMinded offers, RSE workers, their families and their communities can thrive. Of course, it's not always so simple, and we know that there are unique cultural idiosyncrasies and challenges in the Pacific. For example, when a worker and an individual first starts their employment, there's an expectation that they will help to support the wider family, their village, even their province, and their provincial development. These unique obligations to family and to the village can impact on an RSE worker's ability or perceptions of their ability to save. To help address this, ANZ has added a module on assertiveness to our MoneyMinded program in the Pacific, educating participants on saying no in a culturally appropriate way without feeling guilt, because it's okay to have goals and plans and to set aside money for these. Looking ahead, we have big plans for MoneyMinded in the future so it can continue to make a real impact in communities, because we know that by promoting and encouraging financial literacy and education with seasonal workers, we're helping to build a savings culture and reducing the reliance on those remittances. Working with the South Pacific Commission, MoneyMinded has been recognised as a micro-qualification, which will be life-changing for many who don't otherwise have the opportunity to study and receive other qualifications. We are now launching this through the University of the South Pacific and will eventually look to offer this to RSE workers. None of this would be possible without the relentless work of our dedicated financial inclusion team, our ANZ volunteers who go out into even the most remote communities to help villagers build their knowledge and confidence, and our partners who help us expand on our footprint. Many of you are here today. Here in Fiji, the hub of the Pacific, our commitment to MoneyMinded reflects the importance that we place on financial well-being of our people, customers and communities, by helping them make the most of their money throughout their lives. We will continue to support financial wellbeing programs such as MoneyMinded in the Pacific, because we know that investing in our communities, our efforts in this area are important, and today, as of today, we know that the independent research tells us it is working. Vinaka Vakalevu.